Hello students, myself Vikas Tiwari welcomes you to our channel Mass Academy for Advanced Physics. As all of you know that we are dealing with the topic units and dimension, which is the very first chapter of class 11th here. Okay, so here in that context we are going for the lecture number 4. In the previous 3 lectures we have gone with the concepts of units and dimension. In the first 2 lectures we have gone with the concepts of units, basic or base or fundamental units and derived units. Okay, and in the third lecture we have gone with the concept of dimensions, and in fact we have also described what are the different uses of the dimensions. We have already discussed what is dimensional formula, okay, and what are the uses of dimensions. So uses of dimensional method is that the first use is transformation of units from one measuring system to another measuring system. Second one, to check the dimensional correctness of any physical relation or formula. And the third one is to establish the relation between different physical quantities over here. In this context, I have already discussed one of the method. The first method that I have already discussed, and the first method is the transformation of units from one measuring system to another measuring system. Okay, so it is based on the fact that for any physical quantity, its value multiplied by its unit, it always remains constant. So suppose we can say that P is some physical quantity. Okay, so in the first measuring system, N1 is the value of that physical quantity and U1 is the unit. Similarly, N2 is the value of physical quantity in second measuring system, okay, and U2 is the unit in second measuring system. So we have to convert value from one measuring system to another measuring system. Okay, therefore the fact behind that is that physical quantity never remains never going to change. This remains constant always. Okay, so suppose if I have said that I know the dimensional formula of any physical quantity, it is known to me. Okay, so I am considering that it is already known to me because I have already told you how to derive the dimensional formula. Okay, so suppose the dimensional formula for this physical quantity is m raised to power a, l raised to power b and t raised to power c. Okay, so now what we can say, in the first measuring system, if m1 is the mass, l1 is the length and t1 is the time, okay, so that physical quantity can be expressed as value multiplied by dimensional formula, that is n1 m1 raised to power a, l1 raised to power b, t1 raised to power c. Similarly, in the second measuring system, it can be expressed as n2 is the value, m2 raised to power a, l2 raised to power b and t2 raised to power c. Okay, so again I have telling you that physical quantity is not going to change, so we can equate these two equations. Okay, so if we can equate these two equations, this will become n1 into m1 raised to power a, l1 raised to power b, t1 raised to power c is equal to n2 m2 raised to power a, l2 raised to power b and t2 raised to power c. Suppose n1 is known and n2 is unknown, so we can calculate the value of n2 by just transferring these m1 upon m2 raised to power a, l1 upon l2 raised to power b and t1 upon t2 raised to power c over here. So this will become the formula. And also I have discussed one of the questions over here. Just I have taken the example of universal gravitational constant in CGS systems. What is CGS system? Length in centimeter, mass in gram and time in second. Okay, so the value of this universal gravitational constant G in CGS system, it is N1 is equal to 6.67 into 10 raised to power minus 8, and I have to calculate its value in MKS system. Okay, suppose that dimensional formula for universal gravitational constant is m raised to power minus 1, l raised to power 3, t raised to power minus 2. Okay, so by comparing this and this, we can say that the value of a is equal to minus 1, b is equal to 3 and c is equal to minus t over 2 over here. Okay, so in first measuring system, length is taken in centimeter, mass is taken in gram, and time is taken in second. So L1, M1 and T1, and N1 is already given. It is 6.67 into 10 raised to power minus 8. What I have to calculate? I have to calculate N2 in MKS system, where length L2 is in meter, M2 in kilogram and T2 in second. Okay, so just we can substitute all the known values in this particular formula. Okay, how? See that N2 is unknown value, so it is equal to N1. I have kept the value of N1 over here. M1 is taken in gram and M2 is taken in kilogram. So gram upon kilogram raised to power A. What is the value of A? Minus 1 centimeter upon meter. L1 in centimeter and L2 in meter. So then I have written centimeter upon meter raised to power B. What is B? B is equal to 3. Then second upon second raised to power minus 2. Okay, because time in both the system is second only. Okay, so if we calculate, second cancel out with second, so it becomes 1 raised to power minus 2, which will become 1. Okay, anything which is raised to power 1, it will makes it 1. Okay, so it will become 6.67 10 raised to power minus 8. Now we can equalize these units. Okay, so I am converting kilogram into gram. Okay, so I will say 1 kilogram is equal to 1000 gram. So I can substitute here, in the place of kilogram I can write 1 gram upon 1000 gram. So we can cancel out gram with gram. So here it will become 10 raised to power minus 3. 1, 2, 3 and this minus 1. So it will become 10 raised to power minus 3. So then we can write 6.67 into 10 raised to power minus 8 into 1 upon 10 raised to power minus 3. And here I can substitute 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeter. 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeter, so that I can cancel out the value of centimeter with centimeter. So it will become 1 upon 100 raised to power 3. So it will become 10 raised to power 2 multiplied by 3. So it will become 10 raised to power 6. If we calculate this denominator over here, so it will become 10 raised to power minus 3 into 10 raised to power 3. So here it remains 10 raised to power 3 in denominator. If we will calculate these value, so it will represent 10 raised to power 3. Okay, and when this 10 raised to power 3 goes in numerator and it will solve, then 10 raised to power minus 8 into 10 raised to power minus 3. So it will becomes 6.67 into 10 raised to power minus 11 unit. So value of G, universal gravitational constant, in CGS system is 6.67 into 10 raised to power minus 8, and its value in MKS system is 6.67 into 10 raised to power minus 11 unit. So this is the way we can transform the units from one measuring system to another measuring system. Okay, so now next we will go with the second application, that is to check the dimensional correctness of any physical relation or formula. So I am just going to discuss this one over here. Okay, so second application here is to check the dimensional correctness of any physical relation or formula. Okay, so what is this? So we can go through this. Okay, so basically what we'll say that this application is based on the principle of homogeneity. Principle of homogeneity. Okay, what is principle of homogeneity? Okay, we can say that if we are writing any formula, okay, suppose if we are writing any formula in any case, okay, so the formula is something like that. There is one left hand side equal to, then there is right hand side. Okay, so formula, any formula in physics will be in the form of left hand side is equal to right hand side. Okay, so it is based on the principle of homogeneity, means that dimension of left hand side, dimension of left hand side is equal to dimension of right hand side. Okay, so if any formula satisfies the principle of homogeneity, that is the dimension of LHS is equal to dimension of RHS, then in that particular case we can say that the formula is correct. So in this way we can say, we have checked the dimensional correctness of any physical relation or formula. Okay, just to give the strength to my words, just I am taking an example. Just I am taking a formula that force is equal to mv square upon r. If any particle moves in a circle, okay, it follows a circular track or circular path, then the force exerting on that particular particle is given as F is equal to mv square upon r. How it will come or how it will derive, that we will see later on, okay, when we will go with the concepts of motion. Okay, but right now we can say we have to check whether this formula is correct or not. Okay, so here in the right hand side, first we will go with the meaning of the this F is force over here. Okay, force exerting on the particle. What is M? M is mass of particle, and this is linear or tangential velocity of the particle when it is moving in the circle. So we can say in simple words it is velocity. And what is R? R is the radius of circle. Okay, radius of circle. Okay, in the circle if a particle is moving, so this is what we call F is equal to mv square upon r. So what is force? Dimension of force, I have already told you. What is force? Force can be written as mass multiplied by acceleration. And again I can say what is acceleration? Change in velocity upon time, change in velocity upon time. Okay, and what is acceleration? Change in velocity upon time. So mass into what is velocity? Velocity is displacement upon time, and one time is already there, so it becomes time square. Okay, so we can say what is the unit of force? Force is mass multiplied by displacement. So mass can be written in, if it is written in kilogram, then displacement can be written in meter per second square. So this is the unit of force, which I have already told you is equivalent to Newton. It is equivalent to Newton. Okay, so based on this fact, if I write the dimensional formula for force, what is the dimensional formula for force? So kilogram is mass and the power of kilogram is 1. So I can write m1. Meter is the length, so I can write L1 because power of meter is only 1. Divided by second, second is time, but the power here is 2. So I can say m1 L1 t minus 2. So this is the dimensional formula. This is the dimensional formula for force. Okay, so it is LHS. The dimension of LHS is given as m1 L1 t minus 2. Okay, now we will check if the dimension of RHS is also m1 L1 minus 2, then we will say this formula is correct. For checking that particular thing, okay, what we can say? We can say that dimensional formula of RHS can be written as m is the mass can be written as m. Okay, then it will be m. And velocity can be written as, so we can say mass. First we will write mass can be written in kilogram, velocity in meter per second, velocity can be written as meter per second whole square upon, again I will say radius can be written in meter itself, okay, because radius is length, so we can write it meter. So we can write kilogram into meter square upon second square into meter, and the 1 meter square cancel out this meter, so it will become what? It will become kilogram into meter upon second square. So kilogram into meter upon second square, okay. So we can write the dimensional formula. Kilogram is mass, power is 1, meter is length, upon second square t square. So m1 L1, because here power again 2, then the power of t is m1 L1 t minus 2. So we can say that dimension of LHS is equal to dimension of RHS, okay. So if these two dimensions are equal, then we can say this formula is correct. So this is the way. If it was not equal to RHS is not equal to LHS, then we can say that this formula is not correct. So this is the way we can check the dimensional correctness of any physical relation or formula over here. Okay, so this is the second unit, excuse me, second application that we have already checked over here, okay, or we have already discussed here. And this last application is to establish the relation between different physical quantities over here, okay. So what is this third application? Just now I am going to discuss this third application here. Third use or third application is to establish the relation, establish the relation between different physical quantities, between different physical quantities, okay, to establish the relation between different physical quantities, okay. Just to elaborate this, I am taking one example over here, okay. So there is a fact in physics, okay, that when mass is converted okay, converted into energy, then energy depends on mass and velocity of light, okay. If E is equal to energy, M is equal to mass, and C is equal to speed or velocity of light, okay, then what is relation between E, M and C, okay. So for doing such type of questions or to establish the relation between different physical quantities, we need a statement, okay. So this is the statement. Based on this statement, what I can say this is the conversion of words into mathematics. Okay, so if I am saying that energy depends on mass, so I can write that energy depends on mass. Okay, I don't know what is the dimension of mass, so if I will take generalized that energy depends on dimension of mass is x, depends on m and its dimension is x. Also energy depends on speed of light, but I don't know what is the dimension, so I can say the dimension of speed of light is y. Okay, if I compile these two, so I can write in this particular form: E is proportional to x, C proportional to y. Whenever the proportionality of proportionality sign has been removed, okay, there is some constant m raised to power x, c raised to power y. Okay, so what we will say? We'll say that this is the values over here. Okay, so again, if I know the what is the dimension of energy, what is the dimension of energy, then I can easily calculate this particular values. I can calculate the values of x and y by comparing LHS and RHS quantities over here. So first I need to know what is the dimension of energy. Okay, we can say work and energy are the same. There is a statement, well-known statement, that work and energy are same. So we can say the dimension of energy is the dimension of work. And what is the dimension of work? It is force multiplied by displacement. Okay, what is work? Force multiplied. Dimension of force I have already calculated in previous question, that is m1 L1 T minus 2 multiplied by what is the dimension? Dimension is D. Displacement can be written as L1. So the dimension of energy is equal to m1 L2 T minus 2. Okay, so dimension of energy is m1 L2 T minus 2 over here. Okay, and what is speed of light? Speed of light or velocity means velocity, so it can be written in meter per second. Okay, so its dimension is L1 T minus 1. And dimension of mass, we already know the dimension of mass is m1 here. Okay, so if we can write in we can write these values here. So energy m1 L2 T minus 2 is equal to k times of m1 raised to power x. Then what is c? C is L1 T minus 1 raised to power, it is equal to y. Okay, so it can be written as m1 L2 T minus 2 is equal to k times m raised to power x, okay, L raised to power y and T raised to power minus y. Okay, so if we compare the powers of mass, length and time from LHS, so it will become x is equal to 1 and y is equal to 2. Okay, so y is equal to 2, x is equal to 1 and y is equal to 2. Okay, so we can substitute the values of x and y here. So we can say what is the formula of energy? E is equal to k into m raised to power 1 and c raised to power 2. By experiments, the value of k is equal to 1. By experiments, the value of k is equal to 1. So we can say that the formula for energy is equal to mc square. Okay, this is the equation. This is the equation given by Einstein. Okay, and well known, and we can say that it is energy mass relationship. Okay, whenever the mass in relativity, mass is variable, so it will get converted into energy, some form of energy over here, and it can be the equivalence of mass and energy over here. Okay, so this is E is equal to mc square. So this is the way we have calculated or we have discussed this third particular application over here, that is how to establish the relation between different physical quantities over here. So right now in this our fourth lecture, till fourth lecture, what we have discussed, we have discussed what are units, what are fundamental units, base units, what are derived units, what is dimension, what are dimensions, and what are the different uses of dimensions. These are the three different uses of dimensions that we have already discussed over here. Okay, so this is, we have just completed the basics of the units and dimension over here. Okay, thank you very much.